March 11, 1861, founding document. In Montgomery, Alabama, delegates from the seceded Southern states adopted the Confederate Constitution. This act formalized the establishment of the Confederate States of America, marking a pivotal moment in American history. The Constitution closely mirrored the United States Constitution, but included distinct provisions that underscored the Confederacy's foundational principles and objectives. Key figures in this constitutional endeavor included Christopher G. Memminger of South Carolina, who chaired the committee responsible for drafting the document. Other notable contributors were Robert Barnwell Rhett, also of South Carolina, and Thomas R. Cobb of Georgia. These individuals played instrumental roles in shaping the legal framework of the nascent Confederacy. The Confederate Constitution emphasized the sovereignty and independence of each member state. This focus reflected the Confederacy's commitment to a decentralized federal structure, granting significant autonomy to individual states. The preamble explicitly referenced each state acting in its sovereign and independent character, highlighting this foundational principle. A defining feature of the Confederate Constitution was its explicit protection of the institution of slavery. Unlike the U.S. Constitution, which avoided direct mention of slavery, the Confederate document addressed it directly. For instance, Article 1, Section 9, Clause 1, prohibited the importation of slaves from foreign countries but allowed the internal slave trade among Confederate states. Additionally, Article 4, Section 3, Clause 3, mandated the protection of slavery in any new territories acquired by the Confederacy. While largely mirroring the U.S. Constitution, the Confederate version introduced notable structural changes. The president was limited to a single 6-year term, a departure from the U.S. system of renewable 4-year terms. This change aimed to prevent the consolidation of executive power. Furthermore, the president was granted a line-item veto, allowing for more precise control over budgetary expenditures. The Confederate Constitution imposed restrictions on the central government's economic authority. It prohibited protective tariffs and restricted the use of funds for internal improvements to projects benefiting navigation. These measures reflected Southern economic interests, particularly the emphasis on agriculture and opposition to industrial subsidies that favored Northern industries. The Constitution provided for a Supreme Court, but the Confederacy never established one. This absence left unresolved questions about the interpretation of Confederate laws and the resolution of disputes between states. The lack of a central judicial authority highlighted challenges in the Confederacy's governance structure. Following its adoption on March 11, 1861, the Confederate Constitution required ratification by the individual states. By March 29, 1861, all seceded states had ratified the document, solidifying the legal foundation of the Confederate government. This swift ratification process underscored the urgency and unity among the seceding states in formalizing their separation from the Union. The adoption of the Confederate Constitution represented a formal assertion of the Southern states' desire for self-determination and their commitment to preserving slavery as an institution. This document not only codified the ideological differences between the North and South, but also set the stage for the ensuing Civil War. The constitutional emphasis on state sovereignty and slavery elucidated the core issues that would define the conflict and shape the nation's history. The Confederate Constitution of 1861 stands as a testament to the profound divisions within the United States during that era. Its adoption highlighted the lengths to which the Southern states were willing to go to protect their interests and way of life. Understanding this document provides critical insight into the motivations behind secession and the foundational causes of the Civil War. For enthusiasts of historical ephemera, visit history-collectors.com to find collectibles that might complement your collection. You can own a piece of history.